Hey, this is Mike here with Real Estate and Life Hacks, or American House Guys. Hey, real quick, now we're getting ready to start this journey, you and I, and we're going to get you started on real estate. I need to help you set a little bit of a foundation. Let me explain that. I read one time that if you put one crab in a bucket, he can get out of the bucket because he can reach up with his pincher or whatever you call it, hook onto the side, and he can pull himself out. But if you put more than one crab in the bucket, he can't get out. You know why? Here's what begins to happen. As soon as he starts to reach up and gain momentum and starts to get a hold of the edge to pull himself out, the other crabs in the bucket, for whatever reason, will reach up and they'll hook onto the crab that's trying to escape, and they'll pull him back down. In fact, the more crabs there are in the bucket, the less chance he has of getting out of the bucket, because then next thing you know, there's two of them pulling him down, three of them pulling him down. Now, as you and I go on this journey together, you're going to start to dream, and dreaming is good. But you have to be a little bit realistic with your dreams and be a little bit guarded as to who you tell about your dreams. Why do I say that? Because there are some people, they love you, they're your family, they may be your friends, they may be your co-workers, and as soon as you say, hey, listen, I think I'm going to get into real estate, I think I'm going to make some money, they're going to say, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? What makes you so special? You know you're just a factory worker, or you know you would just work at the office, or you just work here and you just do that. You're not good enough for that. What makes you think? And they will literally hammer you, and if you're not careful, you'll actually start to give in to the self-doubts, and you'll start to have the thoughts, well, gosh, I don't know. Maybe I can't do it. Maybe I'm not good enough. Listen, you are good enough. We all started somewhere. Years ago, when I got started, I remember, I think I was 38, and I woke up one day when I was 38 years old. I was smoking cigarettes, and I was working paycheck to paycheck, and I was broke as smoke, and I thought, this is frustrating. I was out working night and day. My wife, we have twins. My wife was trying to raise the kids without me. I was out doing door-to-door sales, and I thought, this is stupid. Now, there's an old saying, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, right? I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So I thought, I got to make a change. And I'll never forget, I went out there, and I started back then, we didn't have YouTube and all the other stuff on the internet we have, but I got some books on investing and how does this work and how's that work. And I'll never forget, I found a house, and I put it on, I found a lady, I think, I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I ran some signs, or put some bandit signs out, they call them, that said, I buy houses, and I had a lady contact me. I'll have to go back and check my stuff, how she did. But anyways, I think it was off a bandit sign, and she said, you the one that buys houses? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I buy houses. Now, you understand that, what did I know about buying houses? Nothing. But I tell you what I did. I didn't tell her that. And so with the confidence that goes with ignorance, I talk like I'm an expert. Oh, yeah, I buy houses. Well, I'll never forget this. It was over off of in the far part of Central Avenue in Toledo, Ohio, down near the Auburn and all that. Now, if anybody's from that area, you know what I'm talking about. That's not the kind of area you want to hang out in. That's the kind of area you make sure your gun is well oiled before you go over there and visit folks, right? Well, I went to look at this house, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was a nasty house. When I went to go up on the porch, the whole porch was shaking, and I was weeble wobbling. I thought, good Lord, what's going to happen? Once I did get inside the house, I don't know if they were testing for cigarette companies or what, but they were smoking so much, and it was so thick that I almost had to put my hand up to see through the fog of cigarette smoke. And we'll cover this story maybe perhaps at another time into great detail. But to make a long story short, I asked her what she wanted for the house, and I said, well, tell you what I'll do. She'd give me a price, and I didn't have any money, so I said, I'll give you $10,000 for the house. Now, kind of, inside of me, I was excited, but I kind of hope she said no. You see, sometimes when you have a dream in life, you'll almost hope you'll fail so that you don't have the embarrassment or the fear or all the excitement, because you're excited, but you're also scared, right? That means you're normal. Well, what happens is, I went to her, and she said, oh my gosh, I can't sell it for that, or whatever she said, something like that. And I said, well, the most I can pay you for the house is $10,000. And I thought to myself, Mike, we're going to get out of here. Of course, you know, you talk to yourself in third person sometime. I said, well, all right. And I was getting ready to leave, and she says, when would I get the money? And I thought, oh no, she's going to accept my offer. And the only thing I didn't have was the money. I had made her an offer to buy her house, and she said, well, how would you pay for it? I said, all cash. Now, the reason for that is I knew I couldn't get a loan on that house. Even if my credit had been good, I couldn't get a loan for a house that didn't qualify in that type of an area, right? So I said, well, I'm going to need the standard normal 90 days to close. So I put the house under contract, and to make a long story real short, I ran me another ad that said, hey, house for sale, blah, 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 and I'm going to round off some numbers real quick. But I found a landlord to buy that house, and I tell this story in my book that I wrote, and I made $9,000. Now, I know that $9,000 right now is not a lot of money. I'm aware of that. But you have to understand where I was in my life at the time. $9,000. You could have said, Mike, here's $1 million. It was life-changing to me. And once I made that $9,000, you know what? It kind of set me free from all my friends that said, Mike, you can't do this. Mike, this won't work. Mike, you think you're going to be like them people on TV? Listen, suddenly I had a check for $9,000 in my hands. And again, another story, I ended up finding a buyer to buy it. I ended up paying my seller out of my buyer's money. So basically, I had $19,000 come in, and I owed them $10,000, and I made the $9,000. I made the spread. I made the difference. Forget about that right now. I'll show you later how we do that. But you know what's cool? Once you discover that you can do it, you've now done what they call crossing your Rubicon. You've now, in ancient Rome, there was a law that no military personnel could cross their small river called the Rubicon, because if they did, they were declaring war on Rome itself, right? But once you've crossed your Rubicon in life and you've discovered, hey, I can do this, you now no longer have any excuses to fail. And now you've set yourself free. So I want you to start preparing yourself mentally. Hey, I know that I can do this. I've simply got to get the right help. Like they said, Thomas Edison, I forgot how many times, there's all kinds of rumors, but Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, how many times and how many thousands of times he tried to make a light bulb and it wouldn't work. And they said, how do you feel like being a failure? And he said, well, I didn't fail. I found 1,000 ways that it wouldn't work, right? Doesn't that make sense? So if you get ready to do this and you run to a wall, or you bang your head, or this isn't working, or that isn't working, that's all right. That means you're normal. You just got to go out there, start applying yourself. And I'm going to give you some frameworks, and I'm going to be giving you this is step 1, this is step 2, and this is how you generate leads. This is how you put a house under contract. This is why you put the house under contract. Here's how you mark it up. This is the kind of proper spread you make. But you need to be prepared here that the first thing you got to do is be able to get yourself in a position to know that not everybody that says they're your friend, not everybody that says they're your buddy or they're your relative, even it may be your mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, I don't know, but not everybody is really rooting for you to succeed. You know another reason for that? Because if you succeed and they don't, you might have just eliminated their excuses. So always be the kind of person, instead of being the crab in the bucket that reaches up and pulls the other crabs down when they're trying to escape, be the kind of crab that you're at the top, you reach down and pull somebody up with you. One of the reasons I'm doing this to work with people, I want to help you. I believe that I've got a calling on my life to serve. I believe that there's some people that I can reach, that I can do good for. And I think in the long run, I don't know what will happen. Maybe down the road, 2 years from now, who knows? Maybe we'll do a deal together. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know the future. Only the good Lord does. But I do know this. In life, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, to where much is given, much is required. Now, you can tell from talking to me, I'm a very talented, handsome guy, right? But bottom line is, you've been given giftings. You've been given skills. Do you know what they are? Have you even bothered to get your skills out? Get something and polish them up? Have you bothered to learn, or you just want to be one of them whiners going, I can't do this, I can't do this? Don't be a whiner. If you've been a whiner, that's in the past. Screw it. If people say, well, man, you've always told us you're going to make stuff happen. So what? Man, you wouldn't believe how many times I went out and failed. I've launched all sorts of little, I don't want to say gimmicks, but in my lifetime, you'd be shocked at how many different things I went out there and tried and attempted. I tried selling vacuum cleaners. I tried selling cars. I tried selling insurance. I joined these multi-level marketing pyramid things where I would do this and I would do that, hoping that maybe this is the one, maybe this is the one. But you know what? It wasn't until I discovered real estate that I discovered, hey, I can make a $10,000 check. I can make a $5,000 assignment fee. I can make a $15,000 check. I can make a $41,000 check. When you reach these things, guys and gals, you won't have to worry about other people. Just make sure that you stay humble, stay nice, stay hungry, driven, and smart, though. Make sure that you've got that drive down inside, that no matter how many times you fall down, that's all right if you fall down, make sure you get up. Because as you do this, as you begin to apply this, you're going to be shocked at how much your life is going to be changing. So again, this is Mike. I know sometimes we're only going to be talking real estate, and sometimes we're going to be discussing life hacks. I don't know if I was to give this a title, I might say life hacking with real estate. I don't know what we're going to call it, but this is Mike with American House Guys saying, hey, over and out. We'll talk soon.